Somebody needs to hear me today. I am standing here declaring it loud and clear. I will no longer settle for mediocrity. I will no longer accept being just enough. No more playing small, no more shrinking in the shadows. The world is not waiting for my permission to rise, and neither will I. I am stepping into the life I was born to live, the life that demands greatness, the life that whispers, you were made for more. And I say to you today, if I can choose to stop being average, you can too. Too many of us go through life on autopilot. We wake up, go through the motions, and tell ourselves we are doing enough, but deep down, something inside whispers that there is more for us. That whisper is the voice of your destiny calling, but you cannot answer it if you are trapped in the patterns of mediocrity. Recognizing your average patterns is the first step toward breaking free. You have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. What are the habits that are keeping you small? What are the thoughts that chain you to a life of just okay? Maybe it's the late nights spent scrolling through other people's lives instead of building your own. Maybe it's the words you tell yourself over and over. I can't. I'm not ready. Maybe tomorrow. Those words are the anchors of average, and until you see them for what they are, you will never rise. Average is not just a place, it's a way of thinking. It is living under the illusion that what you are doing right now is enough, when the truth is it will never be enough. Mediocrity is comfortable, but comfort kills your dreams. You have to study yourself. You have to track your routines, your reactions, your excuses, and your fears. What do you do when no one is watching? That is who you really are. And the first step to breaking the chains is awareness. Awareness does not come from avoiding the truth. It comes from facing it even when it hurts. You must be willing to say, yes, I have settled. Yes, I have held back. Yes, I have allowed fear to rule my decisions. Once you admit it, something powerful begins to happen. The moment you see your patterns, you gain the ability to change them. You can replace procrastination with preparation. You can replace doubt with determination. You can replace hesitation with action. Recognizing your average patterns is not about guilt. It is about clarity. It is about shining a light on the corners of your life where you have allowed comfort to dictate your destiny. You have to become a student of your own life, observing without judgment, but with the intention to grow. And when you do, doors start to open. Opportunities that you never noticed before begin to appear because you are no longer blind to the habits that were holding you down. You begin to see that your potential was never small. It was just buried under layers of routine, fear, and excuses. When you recognize your average patterns, you create space for greatness. You begin to understand that the life you want is not found in doing what is easy. It is found in doing what is necessary, even when it is hard. Recognition is the spark. Awareness is the ignition. And once that fire is lit, nothing, no fear, no doubt, no comfort can hold you back. The journey out of average begins with one act, seeing the truth of where you are and refusing to settle there any longer. Deciding to rise above is not a suggestion. It is a declaration. It is a moment in your life when you look at yourself, at your circumstances, at all the limitations that have tried to define you, and you say, enough is enough. I will not live like this anymore. I will not settle for what is easy, what is safe, or what feels comfortable. This decision is more than a fleeting thought. It is a commitment of your soul, a promise to yourself that you will no longer allow mediocrity to dictate your life. You have to understand something crucial. Greatness does not wait for you to feel ready. It does not pause while you gather courage or wait for the stars to align. The moment you decide to rise above, you step into your power. But deciding is not always easy because it requires leaving behind habits, people, and patterns that feel familiar. You must confront fear because fear will always try to whisper, you can't do this. You are not enough. But the decision to rise above is louder than fear. It says, I may be afraid, but I refuse to be controlled. I may stumble, but I refuse to stay down. I may not see the entire path, but I will take the next step anyway. When you make this decision, you begin to see life differently. Opportunities that once seemed impossible now appear as challenges you can conquer. Obstacles that used to intimidate you now become stepping stones to your destiny. Deciding to rise above requires a level of discipline and determination that ordinary people will never understand. It requires waking up every day and reminding yourself that you are not here to be average. You are here to be exceptional. You are here to push past excuses, to refuse distractions, to demand more from yourself than the world has ever demanded. And here is the truth: decision without action is worthless. Saying, "I will rise above," is only the beginning. Every thought, every choice, every moment must align with that declaration. You have to act as if you already are the person you are deciding to become. You have to speak with confidence, move with purpose, and refuse to allow the small, negative voices around you to pull you back into mediocrity. This decision transforms you from a passive observer of your life into an active creator of your destiny. When you decide to rise above, you stop waiting for life to happen to you. You grab hold of your future with both hands, and you refuse to let go. It is the power of commitment, the courage to act, and the faith that what lies ahead is far greater than what you leave behind. And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. You realize that the only thing standing between you and greatness was your own hesitation, your own fear, and your own unwillingness to choose. Decide today to rise above and watch as your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. Growth is never comfortable. I need somebody to hear me right now. If it feels easy, if it feels safe, if it feels like everyone else is cheering for you from the sidelines while you're comfortable in your little box, then you are not growing. True growth comes wrapped in discomfort. It comes dressed in challenges, in moments when you feel fear crawling up your spine, when doubt whispers in your ear, when the world seems determined to tell you, you cannot. If you are serious about leaving average behind, you must learn to embrace uncomfortable growth. You have to understand that the very things that make you uncomfortable are the things that shape you into the person you were meant to be. The long nights of preparation, the moments when nobody is watching and you have to push yourself to keep going, the sacrifices that make everyone else question your sanity, those are the moments that build strength, character, and resilience. You cannot grow in the warmth of comfort. You grow in the fire of challenge. You grow when you dare to step into situations that scare you, when you dare to speak your truth, when you dare to stretch beyond what you thought was possible. Embracing uncomfortable growth means saying yes to change, even when it hurts. It means leaving old habits, old relationships, and old ways of thinking behind because they no longer serve the person you are becoming. It means walking into the unknown with faith that God, the universe, and your own determination will guide you through. Growth is not linear. You will stumble, you will fall, you will feel the weight of every obstacle pressing down on you. But if you refuse to run from discomfort, if you refuse to retreat back into mediocrity, you will rise stronger than ever. Uncomfortable growth teaches you lessons that comfort never can. It teaches you patience, endurance, humility, and perseverance. It shows you the strength that lies dormant inside you, waiting for the right storm to wake it up. Every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you push past the fear, every time you choose the harder path, because you know it will lead to greatness, you are stepping closer to leaving average behind. And let me tell you this, the world will not come to you and hand you growth on a silver platter. You must go out and claim it. You must run toward the things that scare you. You must embrace the challenge, lean into the struggle, and trust that on the other side of discomfort lies the life you were created to live. Average stays safe, but greatness walks through fire. You cannot have one without the other. If you are willing to endure the discomfort, if you are willing to embrace the struggle, if you are willing to risk it all, then growth is yours. And when you finally stand on the other side, you will realize that the pain, the fear, and the struggle were not obstacles. They were the stepping stones to the life you were born to live. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They are the unseen forces that either lift you toward greatness or keep you chained to mediocrity. If you want to leave average behind, you must understand the power of habits. And not just any habits, the kind of habits that cannot be stopped, the kind that are relentless, unstoppable, unshakable. You see, greatness is not born in moments of inspiration. It is built in the daily, consistent actions that most people overlook. It is in the early mornings when you rise before the world is awake, in the discipline to study, to practice, to prepare when nobody is watching. It is in the choices you make over and over again, not just once, but every single day until they become part of who you are. Unstoppable habits do not require motivation. They are ingrained in your character. They don't ask for permission, they command your life. If you are serious about breaking free from average, you have to examine your routines. What you do consistently, even when you don't feel like it, determines the trajectory of your life. Are you feeding your mind with inspiration and knowledge, or are you feeding it with excuses and distractions? Are you moving toward your goals every day, or are you drifting in the comfort of the familiar? The power of habits lies in their compounding effect. Small, seemingly insignificant actions repeated over time produce results that are nothing short of extraordinary. One extra hour of focus, one disciplined choice, one act of courage repeated day after day transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Developing unstoppable habits also means removing what no longer serves you. If you want to rise above, you cannot allow laziness, procrastination, and negativity to occupy space in your life. You must ruthlessly guard your time, your energy, and your mind. Habits are like seeds. Plant the right ones, nurture them, and they grow into trees of opportunity and success. Plant the wrong ones, neglect them, and they bear weeds that choke your potential. The key is consistency. Habits are not about perfection, they are about persistence. There will be days when you fail, when you stumble, when the weight of life tries to pull you off course. But the unstoppable person rises, recommits, and keeps moving forward, knowing that every action is an investment in the future version of themselves. And here is the secret. Once your habits become unstoppable, they carry you. You don't have to push as hard. They do the work for you. Your discipline, your focus, your commitment becomes a force of nature that propels you beyond limits you once thought were impossible. Unstoppable habits are not optional for those who want to leave average behind. They are essential. They are the engine of progress, the foundation of achievement, and the secret weapon of every person who has ever stepped into greatness. If you develop habits that cannot be broken, habits that demand excellence, habits that refuse to let you settle, then average has no place in your life because you have built a life that cannot be stopped. You cannot rise above average alone. I need somebody to hear me today. The people you spend your time with either lift you higher or hold you down. If you want to break free from mediocrity, if you want to step into the life you were born to live, you must be intentional about the company you keep. Surround yourself with excellence. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you to do more, who refuse to let you settle for less than your best. Excellence is contagious. When you walk among people who have a vision bigger than yours, who refuse to accept excuses, who wake up every day determined to move forward, something inside of you shifts. Their energy begins to flow into your life. Their discipline inspires your discipline. Their courage fuels your courage. You must be careful about the voices you allow into your mind. Too many people will tell you it's okay to settle. It's okay to play small. You don't have to be great. And if you listen long enough, if you allow those voices to dominate your thoughts, you will never rise above. Surround yourself with those who see greatness in you even when you don't see it in yourself. Find mentors who have walked the path before you, who can teach you the lessons that take years to learn. Find friends who refuse to gossip, who refuse to complain, who refuse to allow negativity to shape their choices. Excellence does not tolerate laziness, excuses, or mediocrity, and neither should you. When you place yourself in environments of excellence, you begin to raise your standards, your habits, your thoughts, your words, and your actions begin to align with the level of excellence around you. You begin to demand more from yourself because you see others demanding more from themselves. Surrounding yourself with excellence also means distancing yourself from those who drain your energy, who doubt your vision, who speak defeat into your life. It is not cruel, it is necessary. You cannot bloom in the shade if you are meant to grow in the sun. Excellence requires intention. You cannot accidentally stumble into greatness. You must choose it. You must actively seek out people, communities, and environments that reflect the level of success, discipline, and vision you aspire to achieve. And here is the truth. When you surround yourself with excellence, doors begin to open that were once closed. Opportunities appear because your mind is now tuned to see them. Your confidence grows because you are constantly reminded of what is possible, and your influence expands because you are now a part of a circle that refuses to settle for less than extraordinary. If you want to leave average behind, you cannot do it in isolation. Excellence calls for connection, for accountability, and for alignment with those who inspire, challenge, and elevate you. The people around you will either lift you into your destiny or keep you trapped in the life of mediocrity. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with excellence and watch how high you can rise when you refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Living with purpose is the ultimate antidote to an average life. I need somebody to hear me today. If you wake up every morning and your actions have no meaning, if your words and choices do not leave a mark, then you are living beneath the potential that God, the universe, and life itself have placed inside of you. Purpose is what gives your life direction. Purpose is what fuels your fire. Purpose is what transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results. To live with purpose, you must first understand that your life is not about comfort, convenience, or approval from others. It is about contribution. It is about impact. It is about walking in alignment with the gifts, the talents, and the vision that was placed inside of you before you were born. When you live with purpose, every step you take is intentional. Every decision you make is guided by the question, does this move me closer to my destiny? You stop living for the applause of the crowd and you begin to live for the fulfillment that comes from knowing you are doing exactly what you were created to do. Living with impact means that your life becomes a light for others. Your actions, your words, your example, your perseverance, they inspire, they challenge, they motivate those around you to rise higher, to dream bigger, to refuse to settle for mediocrity. Average lives exist in the shadows. Purpose-driven lives shine in the light. Purpose gives meaning to struggle. It gives courage to face obstacles. It gives resilience when the storms of life try to knock you off course. You realize that your pain, your failures, and your setbacks are not the end of your story. They are part of the story that will inspire others, that will teach lessons, that will make your triumphs even more powerful. When you live with purpose and impact, you stop living for yourself alone. You begin to ask, how can I make a difference? How can I leave this world better than I found it? Your life begins to echo beyond your own existence. The people you touch, the lives you influence, the changes you initiate, they become your legacy, a legacy far greater than money, titles, or recognition ever could be. And let me tell you, this purpose is not something you stumble upon. It is something you pursue relentlessly. You must seek it, fight for it, and guard it against the distractions, doubts, and fears that try to pull you into average. When your life is anchored in purpose, mediocrity cannot hold you. When your life is driven by impact, the world cannot ignore you. You become unstoppable because your very existence is fueled by meaning. Every morning, you rise with clarity. Every action, every word, every decision is aligned with the greatness you were born to fulfill. Living with purpose and impact is not a luxury. It is a responsibility. It is your birthright. And the moment you claim it, the moment you refuse to settle for anything less than a life that matters, you step fully into a destiny that is larger than average, larger than fear, and larger than the limitations that have tried to define you. Your life becomes a statement, a movement, a testimony that greatness is not optional. It is inevitable when you live with purpose. Somebody needs to hear me today. This is the moment you stop living in the shadow of who you were yesterday. This is the moment you declare, I won't be average anymore. I don't care what the world has told you about your limits. I don't care what fear has whispered in your ear. I don't care how many times life has knocked you down. What matters is this right here, right now. You are choosing greatness over comfort. You are choosing purpose over procrastination. You are choosing action over hesitation. You are stepping into a life that demands everything you have and then some. Listen to me, somebody average is a prison. It will steal your dreams, your joy, your fire, and your destiny. But today, you are breaking the chains. Today, you are rising above the voices that told you you weren't enough. Today, you are refusing to settle for mediocrity in any area of your life. And hear this, you were not born to follow the crowd. You were born to lead. You were not born to shrink. You were born to expand. You were not born to whisper in the shadows. You were born to roar in the light. So stand up, step forward, speak life over your future. Declare it in your heart, shout it with your voice, and live it with your every breath. I will not be average anymore. And when you walk out of this room, when you step back into your life, let the world know that you are unstoppable, unshakable, and undeniable. Today is the day you rise, and there is no turning back.